Welcome to this short talk on research in the Fridgen Group. Here's a few pictures of my research group earlier this year. I'm Travis Fridgen, we're physical chemists, and we like to study the structures, energetics, and reactivity of gas phase ion molecule complexes. I want to remind you of some concepts that you learned way back in first year. Intermolecular forces. Now we study ion molecule complexes which are held together by intermolecular forces, or we like to call them non-covalent interactions. Now because of the ion, the forces are a little bit stronger than your average hydrogen bond. We usually call them ionic hydrogen bonding. So we like to study molecules that involve DNA bases or amino acids or other biologically relevant molecules. So here are some Watson-Crick hydrogen bonded base pairs. When we protonate these base pairs, they look a little bit different. So here are what we call Hoogsteen base pairs. The Watson-Crick face is highlighted in yellow, and you can see that in the base pairs that we're studying, where they're protonated, the Watson-Crick face is not interacting with the ionic molecule, or the ionic DNA base. So how do we study these things? Well, we take pictures. Not these kinds of pictures, but we take what are called infrared spectra. So we trap the ions in our lab in a very tiny compartment called an ion trap. And then we shine a tunable infrared laser into that ion trap, and this allows us to record what we call an infrared spectrum, which is just a picture of the ions. Okay? We also call them vibrational spectra because what the light does is it causes the atoms in the molecules to vibrate. So here's an experimental vibrational or infrared spectrum of this protonated guanine thymine base pair. So then what we do when we have the experimental spectrum is we play this little game where we put together the ion molecule complexes in different orientations, compute their energies and compute their structures and compute their vibrational spectra, and we compare those vibrational spectra to the experimental vibrational spectra. So in this figure, the experimental spectra are in dark gray, and the theoretical spectra calculated for each of these geometries are in light black. And I think you'll agree with me that this lowest energy structure is among the best fit to the experimental spectrum. This one here, the second highest energy structure, differs only in that this thymine molecule is rotated around. And you can see that it doesn't produce a very good match to the experimental spectrum. So we study all different types of ion molecule complexes, and I urge you to take a look at a few of our recent studies. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Thank you very much for listening to this short talk on research in the Fridgen Group.